I opened my door before dawn and found my CEO crying in the hallway. The first knock came at 4:17 a.m. It wasn't loud. It wasn't desperate. It was slow, almost hesitant, like someone standing on the edge of giving up. I pulled open my apartment door expecting an emergency, maybe a frightened neighbor or bad news from the hospital. Instead, standing beneath the dim hallway light was the last person I ever imagined seeing there. My CEO, the woman who ran a billion-dollar company. The woman every employee feared. The woman whose confidence could silence an entire boardroom. She was barefoot. Her elegant emerald dress was wrinkled, her makeup streaked by tears, and she was holding nothing except a small envelope with trembling hands. For the first time in her life, she looked completely broken. Before we continue, if you believe kindness and second chances can change lives, please take a moment to like this video, leave a comment, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to Kindness Echoes. Every act of support helps these stories reach more hearts. 3 months earlier, I had nearly lost everything. After my wife passed away from a sudden illness, I was left raising my 8-year-old daughter, Lily, while working as a maintenance supervisor at Foster Technologies. Every morning began before sunrise. I packed lunches, braided Lily's hair after watching dozens of online tutorials, dropped her at school, and hurried to work before anyone noticed how exhausted I really was. Bills piled higher each month, grief never seemed to loosen its grip, and sleep had become something I barely remembered. Still, I refused to quit because Lily deserved stability, even if I felt like I was falling apart inside. Our CEO, Victoria Foster, was a mystery to everyone. She was brilliant, demanding, and almost impossible to read. Rumors surrounded her wealth, her business genius, and her cold personality. Most employees believed she didn't even know the names of the people cleaning the offices after hours. Yet once, months before, I had quietly returned an expensive diamond bracelet I found in the executive parking garage without expecting recognition. She simply thanked me with a brief nod before walking away. I never thought about it again. Now she stood outside my apartment building, silently crying. She finally stepped inside without saying much. She looked around my tiny living room where Lily's school drawings covered the walls, where second-hand furniture filled every corner, and where life was held together with determination instead of money. She seemed strangely comforted by the simplicity. After several long minutes, she finally explained why she had come. Her father, the founder of Foster Technologies, had died only hours earlier. The newspapers would soon report that he had passed peacefully, surrounded by family. It was a lie. He had died alone in a private hospital room after months of refusing to speak to his daughter. Years of misunderstandings, pride, and impossible expectations had destroyed their relationship. The last phone call they ever shared had ended in anger. Now there would never be another chance to say goodbye. Victoria confessed that she had driven through the city all night with no destination. Every mansion she owned felt empty. Every luxury hotel felt colder than the last. Then she remembered something unexpected. She remembered seeing a photograph on my desk months earlier. It showed Lily hugging me while holding a handmade Father's Day card. Beneath it she had written, "The richest girl in the world because you're my dad." Victoria admitted that she had stared at those words for several minutes that day. She realized she had built an empire but never built a home. As dawn slowly brightened the windows, Lily wandered into the living room wearing cartoon pajamas. She rubbed her sleepy eyes before noticing the elegant stranger sitting quietly with tears still on her face. Without asking questions, Lily disappeared into the kitchen and returned carrying the only mug decorated with tiny painted flowers. She handed Victoria a cup of hot chocolate. Children rarely care about titles. Lily didn't see a CEO. She saw someone hurting. Something changed in Victoria's expression the moment she accepted that simple drink. It was the first genuine smile anyone had ever seen from her outside the office. The following days became even harder. Her father's funeral attracted politicians, investors, celebrities, and reporters. Cameras captured polished speeches about success and legacy, but none of them showed the lonely daughter quietly mourning the relationship she never repaired. Unexpectedly, Victoria asked me to attend the service. Not as an employee, as a friend. Standing among people wearing designer suits, I felt completely out of place. But afterward, Victoria introduced me to several executives by saying something that stunned everyone. She called me the man who had reminded her what success was actually supposed to protect. Months passed, and subtle changes spread through foster technologies. Employee counseling became free. Parents received flexible schedules. Emergency family leave expanded dramatically. Scholarships were created for workers' children. Anonymous hardship funds quietly appeared for employees facing impossible situations. Nobody knew exactly why these changes happened, but I did. One heartbreaking morning in a quiet apartment hallway had rewritten an entire company's future. My own life changed too. Instead of promoting people based only on numbers, Victoria began looking for compassion, honesty, and resilience. She eventually promoted me into community outreach, allowing me to create programs helping struggling families throughout the city. Every project reminded me that kindness often grows far beyond the moment it begins. The greatest surprise came almost a year later. On Lily's birthday, a handwritten envelope arrived. Inside was a scholarship established in my late wife's name, covering Lily's education through college. There were no company logos, no press releases, no cameras. Only one handwritten sentence. Your daughter reminded me that love is the greatest inheritance anyone can leave behind. I stood there with tears filling my eyes, realizing that the woman everyone once feared had become someone quietly changing thousands of lives simply because one little girl offered her a cup of hot chocolate when the world had collapsed around her. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and leave a comment below. Subscribe to Kindness Echoes so together we can keep spreading stories that remind the world compassion still exists. Special request. Before you leave, comment with the words "Kindness always wins" if you believe one small act of compassion can change someone's entire life. Some people knock on our doors asking for help. Others knock without saying a word. Sometimes, opening that door becomes the moment that changes two lives forever.